Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada in his last days surprisingly asked devotees to read from a book. Which book? From the book Teachings of Lord Kapila. Hari book.
Haribo.
It's very important to understand this book. We obviously study so many Srila Prabhupada books, but this book is very, very important. Because it is explained by Srila Prabhupada that Lord Kapila is expansion of Krishna himself. Is like non-different from Krishna. Lord Kapila, Lord Rishabdev, they are like non-different from Krishna. And comes to give some very important teachings. So it's very important to hear and understand their teachings. So to cut the long story short, uh, Kardam Muni, one very exalted son of Brahma, was performing austerities, uh, and and Lord Krishna became so happy, seeing his austerities, seeing his devotional service. Austerities means austerities in devotional service, not like not like Vishwamitra doing 69. These are devotees also perform austerities, just like all of you are performing austerities of waking up early in the morning, following four level principles, and attending full morning program. These are austerities. Austerities for pleasing Krishna. So as he was doing that, Lord became so pleased with him, Kardamuni, that Lord personally appeared, and Lord was so happy with Kardamuni that he cried tears of love for Kardamuni. And so much tears that I don't know what happened. So much tears that it made a whole sarovar. It's called as Bindu Sarovar, river. This is found by tears of the Lord, out of feeling great love for his devotee. And then Kardam Muni offered wonderful prayers, and finally he said that my father Brahmaji has instructed me to increase the population. So please help me in whatever way. Then you find a suitable Mataji, so that I can be married and I can have a child. And and if you become my child, that will be so nice. So that way Kardamuni offered very sincere prayers. He has nothing to do in this material world, but because of instruction of his father and his spiritual master. Brahma was not just his father but also his spiritual master. So do whatever is necessary. So Lord smiled, Lord left, and then there is arrangement that now he is a sage in the forest, Kardamuni, and then Swambhu Manu, the king of the entire place. Manu means the father of mankind. Okay. His daughter, Devahuti, who was princess and very living very opulently. Kardamuni brought his daughter to, Swambhu Manu brought his daughter to Kardamuni and told and requested Kardamuni that please accept this daughter of mine as your wife. So it was all arranged by Krishna. Krishna made all this arrangement. And Devati was accepted by Kardamuni. And when Kardamuni accepted Devati, Kardamuni was literally completely detached. He had no interest. He was performing his austerities, but Devati, although coming from such a wealthy and opulent lifestyle, when she came and she served, so there is also very deep lesson there, how to serve the spiritual master. Like Srila Prabhupada in all those translation of how Dehuti served Gandhar Muni. Srila Prabhupada in the purport explains about how a disciple should serve a spiritual master. Very deep lessons out there. Not going to that. And coming to a certain point. So Devati served Kardamani very sincerely, and so much so that she became emaciated. Her whole body became very thin, lean and thin, and all whatever beauty she had, it all also started to fade away because of living a very austere life. And Kadamuni was just absorbed in meditation. So that way she was just serving Kadamuni and performing austerities. And after some time, some good amount of period went by, Kadamuni felt compassion. That she has come and I'm not taking care of her. So then, and he became also very pleased. So spiritual master, when he becomes pleased, then our life is successful. Although in the beginning there may be so many austerities. So then Dehuti was, uh, Kardamuni became very pleased, and Kardamuni wanted to fulfill the desire of Dehuti, and for that because he was, although he was just a sage in the forest, but he had such powers that he created, that he, told Dehuti to go and take bath in this pond. And as she went into the pond, by his mystic power of Kadamuni, in the pond there were many celestial women who were there, and they bathed and nourished Dehuti in such a way that she regained all her youth and decorated Dehuti very nicely. In that way, Kadamuni created a palace. What is it? Spaceship. Spaceship. In our language, spaceship. Aeroplane. He created a spaceship. A spaceship, but it was not a spaceship. We put some mask or something. Somehow they were just sustained there, eating some tablets or something. It was a spaceship with completely open spaceship with nice gardens and trees and forest and ponds and fountains and very, very elaborate, huge spaceship. It's like whole planet on this. And in that, Kadamuni took Dehuti and had a nice time, and through that Dehuti gave birth to 9 daughters and one very divine son in the last. And who is this divine son? Lord Kapildev. And these 9 daughters later on become the Prajapati, especially. They all married to the great sages and they populated the entire planet. So that Kadamuni was given service by Brahma to be Prajapati, and he did that service perfectly. And then he got a son, Kapila. As soon as the son took birth, Kadamuni said, now my service is over. This was my service, and now I can leave. Because once the son is there, then I don't have to stay. The son can take care of wife. So immediately Prabhupada explains there that how in household life the duty of the husband is that he should make sure that he lives his life in such a way that he can, at one point of time, he can retire from all this engagement and he can focus fully on Krishna. That's how one should make arrangements. So then Kadamuni left. Now Dehuti is under Kapildev's protection. Right? And Kapildev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at that point of time, there is a beautiful prayer by Dehuti where Dehuti tells that how I was cheated. I cheated myself. Right? Because although I was in association of such a great sage, Kadamuni, but I never took advantage of his spiritual knowledge. Right? I just wasted my life. So Dehuti's lamentation, there is a whole verses on that. And then after that, Dehuti understanding that now I am in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila, who has come as my son, but he is the personality. So then he is turned to Lord Kapila, and she started asking some wonderful questions, which are very important. So we'll begin from here. And I'm just trying to give summary of these teachings of Lord Kapila. For more details, I'm trying my best to give summary. Hope I'll not elaborate too much. But you can. But yes, this is more of an advertisement that please read teachings of Lord Kapila. Such an important book, right? And how many of you have read completely? How many of you have read little bit? How many of you have never even opened that book? So you can do it at your sequence. I'm just trying to give you a basic understanding. So let us recite this verse 325:7. Nirvinnanitir dehutirvacha. 325:7. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman.
Nirvinnaitaram bhuman
Asatindriya darshanat.
asadindriya darshanat
Yena bhavyamanena.
yena sambhadyamanena
Prapannandham tama prabho.
prapanandam tamam prabho.
Devati said, now Devati is turning to Kapila and he is speaking to Kapila. I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into abyss of ignorance. How many of you feel this verse seems to be a little relevant for my personal life? That means Devati's prayers are actually on our behalf. On our behalf, she is praying to Lord Kapila that I'm feeling so much disturbed by my material senses. And because of that sense disturbance, always my senses are craving for sense gratification. Srila Prabhupada in the purport is explaining about the material senses. The word Prabhupada emphasizes there is asad indriya darshanat. So asad means temporary. So this time, actually what senses we have is asad senses. But actually these material senses. But there are another senses we have. What is that? What is that sense? What is that? What are those senses? Eyes, ears, all the senses are there? Yes. So we have another eyes. This is this material eyes. In this material eyes we can see only material things. We cannot see Krishna. Right? And unable to see. But there is spiritual senses, which is our real senses. That is the eyes of the soul, right? So which we need to awaken. So Prabhupada explains what is that spiritual senses. Spiritual senses means which are engaged in service of the Lord. Okay, right? So we need to now spiritualize our senses. Till the time we are in this, what is the difference between material and spiritual senses? Very simple. Prabhupada makes it. Material senses means which are engaged in sense gratification, and spiritual senses means which are engaged in Krishna service. Service to Krishna. Okay. So hence till the time the senses are engaged in sense gratification, till that time it will be causing so much disturbance and it will take me to the ignorance. Okay. Next verse. This is very important verse and we will read purport of this verse. Tasyatum tamaso andasya
Tasyatam tamaso andasya
dushparasya dyaparagam
dushparasya paragam
Satchakshur janmanamante
satchakshur janmanamante
labdham me tadanugraha.
labdham me tvadanugраhat.
Very, very important verse. So what she is saying, your Lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. So she is telling that you are my transcendental eye, and I have received this transcendental eye how? By Lord's mercy only I have received this transcendental eye. So now I should take help of this. Prabhupada says, Prabhupada, this verse is very instructive since it indicates a relationship between a spiritual master and a disciple. The disciple or conditioned soul is put into the darkest region of ignorance and therefore is entangled in the material existence of sense gratification. So ignorance means where we are thinking that I am this body and what I need to do? Yes. I am this body, so I should gratify my senses. I am the material senses. If I gratify my senses, I will be happy. This is called as ignorance. Okay. Right. So, so this is what we are in this material world. We see everything. We have eyes. What is our eyes? We see everything. How can I enjoy? How can I exploit? How can I make my senses gratified? This is how we see. Me and mine. Absorb in that. Then Further Baba saying, it is very difficult to get out of this entanglement and attain freedom. So to come out of understanding that I am this body, it's very difficult, Baba saying. But if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a spiritual master like Kapila Muni or his representative, then by his grace one can be delivered from the mire of ignorance. So without mercy of a devotee, spiritual master, it is not possible for us to come to this understanding. Spiritual master gives us spiritual vision to see things. Right? So that is the biggest gift the spiritual master gives. Further, the spiritual master is therefore worshipped as one who delivers a disciple from mire of ignorance with the light of torch of knowledge. What is the verse? Om Ajnana-Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya. Many times you recite this verse just, okay, it's a prayer. Just a prayer in the morning, Manglasharam, we have to do it. You should understand the meaning. What is the meaning? Om Ajnana-Timirandasya. Because of Ajnanata, that is ignorance, there is darkness. Timir means darkness. And then there is darkness, then plus, then there is one more thing. What is that? Andasya. There are two issues. One issue is that there is complete darkness. Second issue is that
I am
I am blind also. So you are blind plus there is darkness. What is the hope for you? To understand, कि क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर, कैसे चलेगा. So that's why what it says. Om Ajnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Shalaka means torchlight. Right? So Jnananjana Shalakaya. So now spiritual masters come with the Jnananjana Shalaka, by which he destroys the ignorance. Then Chakshurun Militam Yena. And also he opens our eyes. He gives us eyes. Actually he gives Chakshudan Dedojai. He gives us the transcendental vision to see. We are blind, we can't see. We are only seeing what we are seeing, how to enjoy this, how to exploit, how to gratify. This is what we are seeing, only matter. We are not able to see Krishna. Although Krishna is everywhere, right? We can't see Krishna. So that's what he does. The word Paragam is very significant. Paragam refers to one who can take the disciple to the other side. This side is conditioned life, the other side is the life of freedom. The spiritual master takes the disciple to the other side by opening his eyes with knowledge. By opening his eyes. Our eyes are blinded. We are suffering simply because of ignorance. By the instruction of spiritual master, the darkness of ignorance is removed. And thus, the disciple is enabled to go to the side of freedom. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, after many births one surrendered to the Supreme Person of Godhead. Similarly, if after many births one is able to find bona fide spiritual master and surrender to such a bona fide representative of Krishna, one can be taken to the side of light. That would also very important. And I'll do some little discussion right now. And then we'll read one more purport, very important purport next one. So here, especially, let's focus on what is what. So first thing, Special Master gives us, he is giving us eyes. That is transcendental vision to see things as they are. Second thing he is giving also is a shalaka. What is this torchlight compressed? By the instruction of spiritual master, the darkness of ignorance is destroyed. So, what is this torchlight? So, two things he is giving. One is he is giving instruction. What this instruction should be done for destroying? It is explained here. And thus the disciple is enabled to go to the side of freedom. So this instruction has to be followed. Following this instruction, one is to trust. So both these things are very important. That is a practical devotional service is given by the spiritual master. And then before that, first spiritual master gives us the eyes. You understand? These 2 points are very important. The spiritual master shows us to see things what they are, and then he gives us a practical engagement in our life. By following those practical instructions, we cross over the material existence and go back home back to material. Okay? Next verse also very important. Then we'll have some short discussions. या आद्यो भगवान् पुंसाम्
आद्यो भगवान् पुंसाम्
ईश्वरो वै भवान् किल
ईश्वरो वै भवान् किल
लोकस्य तमसान्धस्य चक्षुसूर्यायवोदितः
चक्षुसूर्यायवोदितः.
You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin and the Supreme Lord of all living entities. You have arisen to disseminate the rays of sun in order to dissipate the darkness of ignorance of the universe. Purport. Kapil Muni is accepted as an incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Here the word Adya means the origin of all living entities, and Pumsam Ishvara means the Lord Ishvara of the living entities. Ishvara Param Krishna. We should remember that. Kapil Muni is the direct expansion of Krishna, who is the son of spiritual knowledge. So Kapil Muni many times uses the word me. One should worship me, like that also you'll find many verses. So we should remember that me is referring to Krishna only. Okay? Because Kapil Muni is not different from Krishna. Okay? That's why Prabhupada's translation will be talking about Krishna only, because there's no difference between Kapil and Krishna. Okay. So as the sun dissipates the darkness of the universe, so when the light of the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes down, it at once dissipates the darkness of Maya. Krishna Surasan, Maya Hoy Andakara, Jahan Krishna Tahani, Maya Radhikara. We have our eyes, please hear this line. We have our eyes, but without the light of the sun, our eyes are of no value. You understand? Even if the eyes are there, but if there is no light, even if you are not blind, if there is no light, then what will you do? You can't see anything, right? Light, not only sun, this is also sun. Electricity is also coming from sun. So if all the lights are switched off, there is no sun also. What can you see? You can't see anything. So similarly, without the light of the Supreme Lord or without the divine grace of spiritual master, one cannot see things as they are. This is very important. So we cannot see things as they are, right? That's a very important thing. That means we may see things, but what we are seeing, we don't see things with our eyes. We see things with our perceptions. Okay, right? There is a certain perception we have, and based on that, and those perceptions are stored in our mind. We have certain ideas, certain things, and based on that we see everything. Just like this mic can be seen by different people differently. Just like we give an example of a woman. A woman may be walking. She can be seen by different people differently. Maybe a lusty boy will see a woman as an object of enjoyment. A small baby child may see a woman as maybe she is my mother. And a tiger may see a woman as, oh, here is my breakfast. Walking, my breakfast is walking. That way. That way everyone has their vision based on whatever they have perceived. They are not seeing, with their eyes. They are seeing with their own ideas and perception and whatever they feel. So in the similar way, spiritual master gives us the perception by which we can see things as they are, right? As the truth is. So that's why we say Chakshudam Devojai. The greatest gift spiritual master gives, he is able to make us see Krishna, who is not visible. Right? He is Adokshita, he is not visible, but we are able to see Krishna through all these things. So that's why as we grow in the spiritual life, our gratitude to spiritual master for helping us to give us the vision. I was really contemplating recently that sometimes we start thinking that, see, I know Krishna consciousness. And then I was just contemplating that what would be, whatever I have learned, whatever about Krishna consciousness we are able to see or learn, it is all because, and we forget, sometimes our gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada and his representatives, our spiritual master, all that should be increased day by day. It's very important because we should know that whatever little bit of spiritual life I am able to practice, it is all because of, it is because they have given us some vision. And what is that vision? That they have given us the right consciousness. After all, we have some consciousness, some understanding of pleasing Krishna, and this is what I should be doing. I should see Krishna's loving hand in my life. I should see everything with a vision, how this can be used in Krishna's service. All this is all Chakshudam. It's all given by spiritual master. And that's why it says Chakshudam Dilojai, the person who has given this Chakshudam, who is he? Janme Janme Prabhu Sai. Now for birth after birth, he is my master. Because I am so indebted. This line is spoken out of gratitude. That he has given me this eyes. I was not able to see all these things. I was thinking myself to be body, and I was thinking how I will become most famous person in the planet. Right? My goal of life was Prithvi te ache jata nagar adigram sarvatra prachar hoye more naam. So that was my goal. I was always thinking how my influence will be spread everywhere. Everyone should know me, and maybe I'll open some very big company and everyone will worship me. He's the boss of the company, or maybe I'll become a very big whatever, big politician or big this, that. So many different people have different ideas. But every one of why these ideas are there, because we have come here to rebelling against Krishna, and we want to become Krishna. I want to become God. Right? And surprisingly, each and every jiva sitting in this material world have the same desire, right? Whether he is in human body, or whether he is in ant's body, or whether he is in mosquito body, or whether he is in tiger's body, or whether he is in grass body. Everyone is thinking that how I want to become the greatest. Just like even if you see, I was once seeing, this is a very amazing consciousness in every jiva. How they want to just conquer over and become bigger and bigger and greater. I was seeing once this lata, you have seen this creeper. You see this creeper. You can see creeper has a lot of intelligence. You see, creeper has a lot of intelligence. It will keep finding ways and means and try to conquer things. Right? If you see, even this creeper has a very strong tendency to conquer. He want to conquer over, okay, this tree को capture कर लेता हूँ, इसको भी capture कर लूँ और ऊपर जाऊँगा, इसको ही पकड़ लूँगा. You see, if you observe people, you can't see this in one day. You have to observe within many months, 4, 5, 6 months. If you observe the creeper, you can see that how creeper day by day is thinking about conquering over this, that, इसको पकड़ लेता हूँ, and increase my empire. So every jiva, is thinking, ants are thinking, how I'll increase my empire, I'll become greater. So this consciousness is so all-pervading in this material world. And every human being also, every man is also always thinking, every woman is also thinking, everyone is thinking that how I'll increase my influence, and slowly, everyone wants to become God. One fine day, everyone will worship me. And same tendency can come within a spiritual life also. Right? In the life of a devotee also, a devotee may also start thinking how I'll become bigger and bigger devotee. Today I am this much big devotee, tomorrow I'll become this much big sometimes we may want to even aspire for getting nice qualities of Vaishnava and to become this, that, for purpose of becoming bigger and bigger devotee. Again the desire, same old story. What is that same old story? Name, fame, glory. The same old story going on, and even coming to spiritual life, So hence, we need to understand that this consciousness is material consciousness, but the spiritual master gives us a transcendental vision. Right? What is that first vision? That Jiva Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das. Nitya Das. Prabhu, आप Nitya Rup se Das hai. You are not master. That's the first thing. And then how Krishna loves you. So this Das is not like oh my God, I have to serve. Not like that. It's love, loving servant. You are a loving servant. Krishna loves you, and you love Krishna. In that way, there is servant-master relationship, but that servant-master relationship is so very sweet. It's very, very sweet. In this world, no one wants to become Das because there is always understanding of exploitation. Right? It's like, if I become Das, I'll be exploited. But actually, that is a natural consciousness position. But when we understand, so spiritual master tells us how Krishna loves us. So he gives us a transcendental vision of Krishna. So that's why here Devotee Mother is praying that please give me the transcendental vision. And next verse she makes it very clear what she is asking. Athame deva sammoham apakrishtum tamarhasi yo vakraho aham mametiti etasmin yojitastvaya. Now be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion. Due to my feeling of false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and I have identified myself with the body and consequent bodily relations. So whole life, so what is material vision? Me and mine, me and mine. And what is transcendental vision? Krishna and Krishna's. Understand? Very simple. Not very difficult to understand. So when we are seeing everything, कुछ भी आप देखते हो बोलते हैं ये मेरा है. ये कौन सा विजन है? ये मोबाइल किसका है? मेरा है. ये कौन सा विजन है? So as soon as we keep thinking, ये मेरा है, ये मेरा है, ये मेरा है, ये मेरा है. So as soon as we keep saying मैं मेरा, aham mameti. Aham mameti. Aham means mine and mam means मेरा. मैं और मेरा. सारा टाइम कॉन्शियसनेस में क्या चल रहा है? मैं और मेरा. मैं कौन हूँ? मैं मेरा क्या होगा? मैं. I'm like this, I'm like that, I need to work on this, I need to work on that, I will make this happen, I will make I. And then second is my. और मेरा ये है, अभी इसको भी मैं अपना कर लूँगा, वो भी मेरा है. ये मेरे चीज़ को प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, मेरे उस चीज़ को प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. मैं पूरा कॉन्शियसनेस एकदम उसमें अच्छा हो जाता है. How many of you feel that you have this problem? Me and my. Right? I don't know. Very good. So this is called as what vision? Material vision. And what is the spiritual vision? Krishna and Krishna's. Always thinking about Krishna and thinking about Krishna's devotees, Krishna's property, Krishna's living entities. That all these jivas are Krishna's part and parcel. Let me try to connect them back to Krishna. These all things belong to Krishna. Let me engage them in service of Krishna. This body is my body. This is wrong. It's not my body. This is Krishna's body. This body belongs to Krishna. Right? And hence, this body should be used in Krishna's service. So this is called as spiritual consciousness. And this is a gift of spiritual master. We can't it's very difficult for ourselves to be coming to this point. Spiritual Master explains us that this is what, just like Sanatana Goswami Bhashna we were discussing. Where we were discussing? Sanatana Goswami Bhashna? Siddha Bakul, right? So we were discussing that how Sanatana Goswami was thinking that I have to give up this body. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him that how dare. He told Haridas Thakur, just see this fellow, he wanted to destroy others' property. So we should understand this is not my property, this is Krishna's property. This mobile is whose property? Krishna's. So remember that. Hey, me Prabhuji, aisa mat boliye. This is Krishna's property. Krishna has put me under my care. Okay, अब ठीक है? ICU वायरस को देख सकता हूँ। आप बोलेंगे कृष्णा का प्रॉपर्टी है तो दूसरा डिवोटी ले जाएगा फिर उसको। ठीक है? Krishna's property, but kept under my care. It is only under my care. You know, it's not. Similarly, this body is whose property? Krishna's property, but under my care. ICU. This body के ऊपर भी लिखना चाहिए. You know, all of you know ICU, in care of. It's only in care of. It doesn't belong to you. In care of means now this is Krishna's property in my care, so I should make sure it is taken care in such a way that it is used in Krishna's service. You understand? Just like a driver may have a vehicle of his master. That doesn't make that driver that ye mera gaadi hai. Right? You understand? This गाड़ी belongs to the Malik. He can't think that अरे ठीक है अभी मेरा गाड़ी है मैं उसको तोड़ देता हूँ. Right? If he breaks the गाड़ी, what Malik will do? Throw him out, no? And maybe tax him, fine him, or give some punishment. Similarly, someone don't take care of the body, or suppose driver thinks that okay, now let me instead of breaking this car, I'll take this car and go on my own tour. मैं अपनी family को लेकर घूमने चला जाता हूँ कहीं दूर. Then what master will do? To complain. So similarly, we have to understand this body is Krishna's property. It should be used only in Krishna's service. I can't take this body and utilize for myself. Any questions? It's a wonderful purport to this. I gave you a short essence.
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask about we have I have attention-seeking tendency. So, why does it come, and is it there in spiritual world also in some form or not? Or?
That's a good question. That's a very interesting question. So actually, that's a very interesting question because every tendency what we have is actually arising from the spiritual world. That's for sure. But it is now perverted reflection, not reflection. Perverted reflection. That means it has become fully contaminated. It's not like sometimes reflection exactly looks like that, but it's not exactly like that. It's a perverted and ulta ho gaya. You understand? The tree hai, in the reflection, tree becomes ulta. Understand? So is this tree? No, it's not tree. You understand? It's not tree. It's ulta ho gaya. ठीक है, गड़बड़ हो गया. Okay, so attention seeking is a perverted reflection of our original nature of giving always attention to Krishna. Okay. So a devotee don't want personal attention. A devotee wants to give attention to Krishna, but there is a need of the soul to feel his connection with Krishna also. So that's why the attention seeking is solved by two ways. First thing is that we need to understand this is an anartha at this point of time in my heart. Okay, and hence I should not hanker for personal attention. And second thing is that if I don't hanker for personal attention, rather I simply try to. There's a very nice lecture by Radha Swami Maharaj you can hear. the name of the lecture? I already spoke. Don't hanker for personal attention is the name of the lecture. Very, very nice lecture. Amazing lecture. In that lecture, Maharaj is explaining about so many Srila Prabhupada disciples who never got even personal darshan of Prabhupada, or personal service to Prabhupada. They just saw Prabhupada from the distance, and offered obeisances. That's all. In once in their lifetime, practically. But they are fully surrendered to Prabhupada, and they are highly realized souls. Right? So it's not by personal association or a personal attention that one advances in bhakti. So one should not hanker for these things, because this is very much related to false ego. Okay, right? That I want to be distinction. It's like anartha of distinction. So hence, one need to first understand step number one. Understand that this is an anartha. Okay, this should be purified. Okay, and how to purify this anartha is I should engage in menial service. I should glorify devotees. And one more thing. Okay, so in that way I should purify this anartha. I should engage in menial service, glorify devotees, and I should. Menial service means service where credit is not being given. You don't find credit. That means you do that service, but it's not that someone is going to take a mic and glorify. Today, kitchen cleaning was done by Prashant Prabhu. Hari Bol. One glorifies like this. Glorification hota nahi hai generally. Today, chula was ignited by Pavan Prabhu. Hari Bol. Now, to ignite a chula, it takes a lot of effort, But who is taking mic and glorifying every day like this? Even I think it's not there even in IM services. It's there in IM service. Who will ignite chula? It's nowhere. Name is nowhere there. It's like very menial service. But this kind of services, we should also know simultaneously, because I am serving devotees in the background. This brings attention for Krishna. Okay, this is second point, very important. That in that way you seek Krishna's attention. You understand? You understand?
Is it like if during the menial service we can remember God, then is it?
Yes, we should. Rather, you should know that this is how Krishna is going to. You are seeking Krishna's attention. By currently the anartha is I want everyone's attention to say that, see, I am so great. Right? You want to become God. But if by doing this, we are actually what we are doing, we don't want anyone to know what I am doing. But there is one person who is watching me. Who is that? Krishna. And Guru is watching. By Krishna's grace, Guru knows everything. So hence, Guru and Krishna, they are praised. So devotee is more focused on that aspect. So hence, seeking this personal attention is not bad, provided whose personal attention you are seeking. Okay? Krishna's personal attention you will get by understanding how Krishna is praised. Just like the best example in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one example. Who is that? And you can think of where someone got personal attention of the Lord while Dukhi was doing menial service in the background. Way back in the background, somewhere, she was just arranging the pots. She even probably might have not have strength to carry the pot, or she didn't felt qualified to carry the pot. But what she was doing, she was simply arranging the pots. Nobody was bringing pot from the Ganga and they were keeping it. She was arranging the pots in such a way that those who are taking, it becomes comfortable for them. So she was just thinking how to assist these devotees, great souls. She had this attitude, beautiful attitude. She was just thinking, I can never think of going there, but if I can just arrange these pots like this nicely, these devotees will be serving very comfortably Lord. So she wanted to really be servant of the servant of servant. You understand? And because she was doing that with that attitude, Lord standing so far told Shivas, who is this? Who is she? She was told, she is our maid servant in our home named Dukhi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Dukhi, this name is not fitting in my heart. From today, her name is Sukhi. And not just he spoke it, but as soon as she said it, she got complete all perfection of love of God. The tears were coming from her eyes, his hands, the hair stand on end. So she was able to seek personal attention of Krishna. You understand? So this tendency should be total to this. Right? But how we should know? Not that I want to seek personal attention of Krishna and Guru by jumping in front of Krishna and Guru, showing off. You can't show off. Why? Because Krishna is sitting in your heart. You can't show off him. What is your attitude? Krishna is knowing. And hence we have to rectify our attitudes. You can't cheat Krishna. Okay. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So to conclude and concluding line is, do not try to see Krishna. This is called as seeking attention. Do not try to see Krishna. Serve Krishna in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. You understand? Krishna himself is saying, who is this fellow? Who is this Prashant? Everyone is saying that he is always in the background. He never comes in the front. He was extending in the, what is that? In chicken box stand. Who was that? Everyone is saying he extended so much and he never came into limelight also. Who is this fellow? No, I want to meet this person. So Krishna himself will be eager to catch Prashant and find out who is this. Who is this devotee who is pleasing every devotee in voice? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 10 minutes later. Thank you.